Welcome to the City League Sports Show here. Today in the studio, people, we have, what a show. We have the amazing, phenomenal Ayrizanna. We just sat here and talked about this.
It's all right.
And before the show, I just asked her, how do you want me to pronounce it? I'm so used to calling this remarkable individual AZ, but Ayrizanna Favours of Eastmoor Academy. I'm your host, Dr. Vince Clarino. We're going to get into a fun show today. Say hello to everybody here in Central Ohio, please.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Hey, everybody. How are you? Very poised. Very poised for all of the radio listeners. Beautiful smile here today. We're excited. I'm excited to have you on the show. And let me really just get right into it.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited because you really are like one of the most decorated high school track athletes that state of Ohio had ever seen. You hit the scene remarkably as a ninth grader, and we'll get into that in a moment.
Okay.
But as I was doing production notes, let's dive all the way back to the beginning. I read somewhere you started doing track at like age 6 or 7 or something like that. Share with me, how does that begin? Where does the legend of AZ begin?
Oh, yeah. So I started running track when I was about 7. Track was never really on my radar, believe it or not. Like, when I was in elementary school, I love like racing people. So if it's a new kid at school, we'd be like, okay, at recess, we're going to race.
Okay.
That was just a thing.
Just a thing, okay.
So believe it or not, my track coach, my AU track coach, he would come, I don't know how, but he would come at recess and he would run us.
Oh, wow.
But we didn't, it didn't
normal,
feel like practice or anything like that. So we started there. He just had us, run up and down the field. And
right.
I loved running because I just like racing people and everything like that. So then it became a thing where I was in this after school program.
Okay.
That they had after school. You had to be a first grader to attend, but somehow I was able to attend when I was in kindergarten.
Wow, okay.
But he would come in his green Dodge Caravan and he would pick up a group of us and take us to practice every day. And I was on Capital City Comets track team.
Okay,
so I started when I was 7.
Yeah,
yes.
but who planted the seed? Did anybody plant? I mean, at that age, does anybody, like family members, anyone even know you're into track, or is it just you like running and then did it happen organically?
It was organic. There were no seeds planted. I don't know if you know some of my background, but I am an adopted child.
Oh,
so my parents, they passed away since then, but they were very elderly people.
Okay.
So all they wanted was the best for us.
Yeah.
So whatever we got into, they supported.
Right.
But there were no seeds planted. It was just organic.
So you're just out here a kid, freestyling, running. Somebody sees you lighting up recess playgrounds and patches of grass. What elementary school were you at?
Pilgrim Elementary.
Pilgrim Elementary. You out here just blazing it up, and then somehow it just keeps trickling into, you said Capital City Comets?
Capital City Comets.
And that's the beginning of this amazing story?
That is.
Wow. I don't know how many people know that. Have you shared that with people before?
People very close will have to know, but I don't share it a lot.
Listeners got a treat just now. I mean, I'm almost a little bit in tears just because I'm blown back, because I didn't know your beginning. I didn't know your story. I kind of get introduced to you in life in high school. Right, because I don't know anything about you. I'm a high school educator my entire career, teacher, administrator, all those things. So I don't know much about people until you make it right to a high school scene.
Yes.
But I know when you showed up, it was like the talk of Central Ohio. Could you feel that when you were in the ninth? I'm jumping, people. We'll get back to Capital City a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm like jumping to ninth grade for a second. Could you feel the excitement around you, or did you even know it was going on at 14, 15 years old?
So I really did not when I first came to high school, believe it or not, because I had been running since I was 7. And I actually took a break, probably middle school.
You didn't run in middle school?
I did not run in middle school.
Okay.
I played basketball. I did soccer.
I heard that. I even got that in my notes. Look, track, basketball, and a little soccer. I got that right here in my notes.
So soccer was my first sport, one of my favorite sports. So I was pretty fast on the court.
That's what
obviously,
I heard. That's what I remember
basketball,
too. I don't need to hear. I've heard and remember.
I did not plan on running track in high school. I didn't plan on running track anymore. I kind of had a love-hate relationship with track. I kind of fell out of love with track a little bit. I'm like, I'm going to take a break.
Okay.
But there was a talk, I guess, my basketball coach from middle school.
Where'd you do middle school?
Champion Middle School.
Champion, what's up? Okay, so, yes, indeed.
My basketball coach, I guess, sent a little birdie over to the high school, Eastmore Academy.
Right.
Hey, this girl's fast.
Right.
You know, I guess got to the track coach or whatever. And then when I was coming in, there were random people just walking up to me like, hey, will you run track? Will you run track?
Okay.
And
classmates,
of course,
students.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I'm a freshman, so I don't know anybody. I'm just like, well, how do they know me? And, you know, where's this coming from? So there's people, you know, asking me if I'm going to run track.
Okay.
So my thing was like, if I say yes, will you guys leave me alone?
Oh, wow.
You know, so that was pretty much how it got started. I did not plan on running track. I had no intention, but that's how it got started.
It fell in line, right? Running between the lines, it fell in line. So how long did you do Capital City Comets? Was that just a couple of years then?
It was a handful of years for sure.
I mean, but you wasn't doing it in middle school either? You had walked away from all of it?
I don't know the specifics as far as the time frame. I want to say till probably about 12.
Okay.
So maybe like 7 to 12.
Grade,
yeah, a handful of years or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
And then you pulled away even from the club track as well.
Yes.
So you didn't do middle school, pulled away from club track.
Yes.
You were doing your other things.
Basketball and soccer.
Yes. And then here you wake up in the spring and you walking around Eastmore and people are like, hey, are you running track?
That's right.
Just in the hallway, here you are, a freshman, trying to figure it out like every other freshman. And then what? So can you remember going out there for the first day or for practice or tryouts? Or I don't know I don't know what was going on back then. What was that, 2001, maybe 2002?
Yep, probably about 2001.
2001.
So I don't really remember the first day.
No?
I don't.
Just know you showed up. So obviously, in the world, and we all here in Central Ohio know you showed up because of all the bad things that you did after arriving. But wow, so no intentions to run.
No intentions.
So hey, look, thank you to all the students out there who harassed AZ in the hallways about running track, because your harassment turned into encouragement and allowed you to share your gift with all the rest of us, right? And I don't know if you know that or if you even view it as a gift, but I certainly can recall and enjoy watching you participate. So digging a little bit deeper, your freshman year, and I'm gonna get into some of this amazing stuff here because I'm sure some listeners who don't know you, they like, well, what did she do? That's so amazing. Oh, we're getting to it, people. we're getting to what is so amazing. But I say that to say to you, you didn't know your freshman year as the season is going on. You didn't know all the buzz was happening around Central Ohio? I
did not know.
Oh, wow.
I was unaware.
Yeah. In today's age, social media doesn't allow kids to have that level of, I'll call it innocent unawareness. Mm-hmm. I say to kids, for all you kids, parents that's listening, turn your social media off sometimes. Allow life to just happen with you and you participating in it, as opposed to you with your head down reading it all the time. Because in hearing you say that, I think that's part of what made you special. I don't know if you know that. I'm just saying that for the first time ever in my reflection, because if you didn't know that what you were doing was talked about, and especially in the track community, I think that allowed you probably to just maneuver along and just be out there and be the fierce competitor that you were, right? I don't know if do you even reflect on it any that way now that you hear me say that?
As far as me being a gift?
Well, no, just as far as like, okay, so you came on the scene pretty special as a ninth grader, mm-hmm. and you were successful. You were competitively successful.
Yes.
So there was buzz, because that's not normal for a ninth grader to be able to compete at that high level, right? And so I'm curious, when you say you didn't know that, like, because everybody else was talking about you, not in a bad way. I'm saying they're talking about how amazing you're doing. So I just wonder, do you look back? Because if you didn't know, then I think that's part of what made you so special. I mean, I'm just talking about how you carried yourself now, not necessarily the success on the track. I mean, maybe just how you, because I see some young kids, and if somebody posts a picture of them making a 3-point shot. They like, see, I'm the baddest thing in the world. You know what I mean? So I'm just wondering, do you think that maybe contributed to how you carried yourself by the fact that you were just out there having fun and competing? Or were you having fun, I guess, maybe is the question?
I would say I was having fun. I just think I just kind of needed that break because I'm a competitor, especially once put under pressure and even if I don't want to do something, it's like an innate thing for me to just perform. And when I say perform, I don't mean put on a show. I mean give my best.
Give your best, no doubt.
But at the time, no, I did not know what all that stuff meant.
Okay.
Even with me getting certain accolades, winning certain events and winning races. Even still, I've always honestly been a very humble person. Yeah. And I've just carried myself that way.
Okay.
I'm not one to really be like really giddy and it helps me focus and it helps me to kind of stay relaxed. Okay. Because, a lot of stuff can be overwhelming. Certainly. So it kind of helps to keep me calm.
Okay. Right. Keep you level.
Yes.
Keep you where you need to be. So at what point in your 9th grade year is there a meet that you remember? Is there an event? Is there a conversation with a coach? Is there did anything happen that let you know I can be pretty good at this? Or did that hit you in the 9th grade year?
I will say after I won states.
Okay, well then stop right there then, because you jump into the fun stuff. I had a feeling you were going. No, don't apologize. I had a feeling you were going to go there. So let me set the stage for you.
Okay.
9th grade year. You're doing a lot of special things at track meets throughout the season, and then all of a sudden, as folks look up, and here you are. And it's like, districts, regionals. You're participating in the state's 400 as a 9th grader. She's shaking her head, radio listeners, right? I'm saying that because that's bad to the bone. So before we get it, how do you end up running the 400? Because the 400 is a tough race.
I started running it when I was in AAU track.
Oh, okay. So somebody with the comments.
Yes. So, okay. I never really fit the description of a 400-meter runner because I am short-statured. Okay. But
is that a thing? I didn't know that. Is that a thing? 400s are typically, are they taller participants?
I wouldn't be somebody who they would look at and say, oh, you're in the 400.
Oh, okay. I got you.
People would mostly think I probably did more of the sprints, which I did sprint, but more of short sprints.
Certain. Okay.
So, but I just had a great stride and, technique and I think just the drive and just my mental focus.
Okay. So, okay.
So yeah.
All right. So you're saying it's so natural. This is. I am enjoying hearing how you are sharing. To be very honest. So now we get to. So let's just dive right into it then.
Okay.
We get to states. So for everyone that needs a little bit of understanding, we're talking about the Ohio High School Athletic Association state championships. This is at the end of the track season. We're in June. Your freshman year. The kid who wasn't going to run track is now at Jesse Owens Stadium on OSU's campus, right? Yes, is that what states we're at then?
I think I might have been in Dayton my freshman year.
Dayton, freshman year was maybe in Dayton.
Might have been in Welcome Stadium.
Okay, Welcome Stadium. All right, yes, so let's go with that then. We in Dayton, Welcome Stadium. You're a freshman, and here you are on the brink of about to run in the finals for the state 400 meter. What's going through your mind, or is anything? Can you remember back to what that day, that moment was going on?
Not really specifically, but I will say, I know for a fact any race, I want to beat my time.
Okay, so you're thinking of your own personal best, okay?
And I need to win.
Okay,
so yeah.
Did you have a good preliminary?
I think so.
Okay. I mean, so in the finals, you had a respectful lane assignment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So then let's put it out there. Bang. The race begins, and as a freshman, you win the state 400 with a 55-55. Do you remember that?
Now that you're saying it, I remember the time, 55. I didn't remember the specific time, but now I can remember kind of like that time. And even after that, I still didn't realize what I did. It was still a track meet to me, so I wasn't sure what
the magnitude of it being
sure.
state still hadn't sunk in yet.
No.
Wow. So here you are, wasn't going to run track. Boom, 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 boom. You win state. What are people now sharing with you? Does anything said to you or happen that kind of helps you get it, or did you still kind of just go into the summer with, that's cool, I won this track meet?
I think I went to the summer with, I won a track meet.
Oh,
so
wow.
I don't think until the next seasons and things like that I really like learned, okay, this is kind of big,
Yeah.
Especially once we started getting like an actual team as well, like a team that was performing of great magnitude as well, not just, certain individuals.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah. What sticks out to me my freshman year is my coach, Richard Bowden.
Oh, yeah.
At the time.
Coach Bowden is one of the best that ever done it. He gets all kinds of, he certainly deserves a name and love on this show. I love Coach Bowden.
Yes. And then actually there was an assistant coach. His name is Donald White.
Okay.
And he helped with a lot of things. He was actually my coach, assistant coach, when I was with Capital City.
Okay.
So he had, his sons went to school and ran track at Eastmoor as well. But he was my coach since I was a little girl as well. So he's familiar with me and, with my training and things like that. So he definitely helped. But Coach Bowden, he definitely set the tone as far as really, I think I got it more with him.
Okay.
As far as the magnitude, I could just tell that he saw something special. And he really wanted to nurse that and to cultivate it.
Okay.
So I remember after states, it was me, it was him, and Mr. Brown, the AD at the time.
Certainly, yes. And he's still with the school district.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
And they took me out to Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
And there, believe it or not, Wyclef John was there.
Oh, wow. What Cheesecake Factory in Columbus?
In Easton, at Easton.
Man, I'm hanging out in the wrong places, man. You hanging out in spots. Okay, so
I had on my state medal, the little, the high school medal, the gold Ohio State medal on. And he has on this, Mr. Brown, of course, he's like, can we take your pic? Can we get a picture? She just won the states and this and that.
Yeah.
So he had on this lion, this diamond, and gold lion.
Yeah, okay.
And everything like that. So that made me think like, okay, maybe this is a little bit, more than just a regular track meet, but other than that, I mean, everything pretty much remains the same, but that's something I really remember in specific. What
an opportune moment to go bump in. So let's keep this going here. So now, because we got a lot to cover here, and I don't want us to lose time. So then you come back your 10th grade year. Mm-hmm. Here we are again, 400 meters, and then you go out, win 400 again, 54.92. Do you have memories of the 10th grade year, or is it
so everything is very vague?
Okay.
But
when you win 4 of them, it's just like another day in the park.
Not like that, but I'm
saying it for you. You don't have to say it. I'm saying it for you.
My goal was always to lower my time.
Okay.
That was really, one of my biggest things, and not to sound. I don't want this to sound like.
No, sure.
In a bad way,
here.
But
this is City League love. We want to hear your story.
A lot of these meets I ran by myself.
No doubt. I'm getting to that in a moment too.
So, it was a lot of discipline to, beat myself.
Okay, certainly.
I relate a lot of track to life. Track is very comparable to life. Staying in your own lane and running your own race. I say that because a lot of people don't know this, but I actually lost a race in high school. I remember it just like it was yesterday. It was a girl named Stacy Clausing. I think it was maybe even my junior year, but it was a big meet. It was a regional meet. And she was from a small school in Marysville. And, you know, with track, with running, how I've ran, nobody's really been in close proximity to me during a race. And if anybody knows anything about track, like you don't look back because you could potentially fall. You want to, you know, keep forward. But I felt this girl on my heels, and, you know, it shook me. And essentially, I began to run her race, and she actually beat me. So with me being a state champion, I'm like, okay, potentially this means she could beat me at states. So I had to get myself together and my mentality. And so I had to tell myself going into states, you know what, you have to run your own race, you know. And I did, and I did win. But like I was saying, running your own race, staying in your own lane, it's comparable to life. And I actually ended up running against her in the Big Ten because she went to Indiana. So that's something that people don't know. It's not always, you know, about the wins. You definitely learn from the losses too.
In all sports, there are, you know, lopsided wins, whether it's a blowout in a football or basketball game, or somebody gets run ruled, or whatever you want to call it, right? But I don't know if people really can understand. So I'm gonna help listeners and viewers, because we're gonna, hopefully, if we got time, we'll get into a little bit about Paris Olympics that are coming up this summer. We'll talk about track and field, but for people who don't really understand it, I had a track coach explain it to me one time that I thought was really beautiful. But if you're watching ever track on television and you see the person out in front and they're like in the screen frame by themselves, they're running by themselves. You know what I mean? Like they're dusting the opponents that are in that same particular event. Sticking with that theme, and I'm gonna get to the team stuff here in a moment. Your 11th grade year, 54.4. So you lowered your time again, but you won the finals by 3 seconds. The next person was like a 57. Your junior year. I mean, 3 seconds is like a decade of time in track and field. So not only, like you said, are you running by yourself here in Central Ohio, but at the state meet, you literally blew the field away. That junior year. Now is it hitting you now? By now, like, a little bit. Okay, a little bit. So we got a smile here. But no, I'm asking, as a kid, did it hit you then? Like, okay, I'm 3-time state champion. I'm pretty out cold at this. I
don't know if I would use that terminology, but yeah, it was hitting me that.
3 of them in a row has got. I mean, did a little bit say this is special? Because let me share this with you. We were running around here in Central Ohio talking about you like, what's up? Now what? You know, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Dayton, Toledo, Mansfield, Springfield, whoever, all and everybody in between. We like, hey, look, AZ is right here and won 3 in a row, right? Like, you know what I mean? So, but even still, then your approach to life and everything had you even keeled, humbled.
Yes. I mean, it just all started out from where I began. You know, like I said, an adopted child. Yeah. I was in the system when I was 14 months. So, okay. You know, I've just always been. You got a great story. I've always been a grateful person. Okay. And I mean, if my mom was, you know, still here today, you could ask her anything I've achieved. Like, I never would really tell her. Like, I think there was a time where. To get off topic just for a second. No, go ahead. There was a time where I was in middle school. Okay. And I got some kind of award, honor roll, or I don't know, whatever. Yeah. And, you know, parent-teacher conference comes around and she comes and everything. And she's like, oh, my teacher's like, well, did she tell you that she got this and did that? And she's like, no, she didn't. And it's just something that never really crossed my mind because, you know, it's just like, get out there and do what you're supposed to do. And, you know, I don't know. So I've always been that way. Okay. I've always been that way. Okay. So I think when I step into a room, for me, what I've done doesn't necessarily define me. No doubt. I agree with that. So like, I'm not quick to say, hey, my name is AZ. I ran track. I did this and that.
Yeah.
People will end up figuring that out or, knowing
Okay.
and stuff like that. But I want my presence to speak for itself. And it has, and it does.
Certainly.
So,
Well, let me shout it loud. I'm going to say, we saying it today here on this platform because you win it as a junior by 3 seconds. That means you're running by yourself. Also that same year, Eastmore's team, girls track team, wins the state championship. And then that year, you also bring in, I think you guys won the 4x2 and maybe the 4x4.
Yes.
And so like y'all just was doing all sorts of stuff. Now the track team looks different from what you maybe came in and had in the beginning. Does it look different now with just other, really highly successful, other girls on the team, other young ladies on the team out there getting it as well?
Yes. It definitely brings that camaraderie. Because believe it or not, I really love team.
Okay.
Like I'm really about the team.
Yeah.
As much as, I've succeeded in individual races.
Yeah.
Like the relays are my thing.
Okay.
Because I like the team aspect.
Certainly.
So it was great to have a group of talented women. We bonded together, we meshed together, and to really, represent for the city.
Certainly. Do you still stay in touch with some of them?
Yes, there are some that I still stay in touch with. To name drop a few, Cameron Turner, she's actually a good friend of mine. Jasmine and Teresa Scott, Kamara Morgan at the time, Aaliyah Barnes, even with basketball, Sharice Daniel, Malika, Embry at the time, Shannon Church now. So when you're in a tight-knit group with women, at some point you have to, create some kind of bond. So it's either a long-lasting one or seasonal. So in some capacity, I am still in touch with all these women.
Let me keep this going here. Your senior year, and for those people that don't understand maybe how the state track meet works, there's different divisions, and the divisions are set up to run at different times throughout the day. Okay, so this particular year, Division 1 was running earlier than you, Division 2, your senior year, right? And so at the Division 1 meet, I don't even know if you know this story or not, but at the Division 1 meet, the 400 state record was a 54.17, okay? 54.17, and then a young lady named Jessica Beard and the person who came in second, they broke the state record earlier in the day, 53.47. Then you come in later that day and you're running the 400, and your senior year, the state record that just got broke hours earlier, you come in and break it, your race with a 53.19. And you won by 4 seconds.
Wow.
Did you know that?
I did not know.
Did you know you broke the state record?
I know I set the record.
Okay.
But I don't think I was able to recall that the time before that they broke it and this and that. I just
earlier in the day.
I'm a different type of person when I have to run, so I'm very honed in. I'm very focused.
Okay.
I can't even eat.
Yeah.
So like I can do fruit and stuff like that, but I can't smell like food or anything like that. So like I'm very honed in. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, earlier that day, the state record was broke by 2 individuals in the Division 1 400. And then when you came and ran, you broke their record that they just broke literally hours earlier. Let me share this for you as well, as we're like, sharing these memories. Your 53.19, that's still the Division 2 state record.
Yeah, people, they always send me that stuff. When the states comes around, they'll send me, the picture of it out the book or say, your record's still standing. I've been keeping track a little bit.
Okay.
Referring to Jessica Beard, great individual, very talented.
Certainly, yeah.
Ran against her at Ohio State.
Okay.
She went to Texas A&M.
Okay.
And,
that for a record to stand, 5 years is special, 10 years is special, 20 years in, right? Like that's a pretty special record. And I think it speaks to your Lord. Like that's what makes you, at least it's when people talk in track circles, that's what kind of makes you this this unimaginary type of being. You know, it's like it's like a storybook. If you know, I'm being serious with you, because when I hear people speak about you, it's almost like this mythical person who won 4 states, who holds the state record, who just was like you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like a mythical person. Do you ever feel any of that, like when people are talking? Because I'm a little giddy right now. I've been around this for a long time, but I'm a little giddy to be speaking with you. Like I said, I remember watching you, saying to myself, "Wow, this she is bad to the bone. She's special."
I don't think. I mean, you definitely felt it when you were in the moment, like probably especially my senior year, because it's like year 4, you know, and that was a great time, you know, to run. Certainly. You know, and then, you know, by myself. But
you just were enjoying it. Just, I mean, when you look back on it, is it a warm memory?
It is a warm memory, and I think I've realized it more after, years down the line, because to this day, I still have people who recognize me, or, you know, they come up to me, or, you know, who I've, you know, inspired and stuff like that. And I think that's really the most amazing thing, because you don't really know until people tell you. Right. I never assume, you know, that I'm just this, you know, amazing person. Right. I'm regular like anybody else, you know, and I really do mean that when I say it. Yeah. I don't feel like I was higher than anybody else or anything like that. Right. But to know that, you know, I've inspired people, and I still inspire people, and I'm still being talked about. I'm still, my name's still in rooms. And, you know, things like that. It does make me realize a lot more about myself. Like, wow, you know, yeah. Right. So.
Well, and I share it this way, and I've been an educator, you know, my entire adult life. All of us out here have gifts. You know, some of us are lucky enough to find out what they are, right? And you obviously, as you sit here today, you're more than AZ, the track athlete at Eastmoor, right? That is a part of your journey and your path. You're more than that. But I will share. I've spoken to many kids, not just athletes, but just in this tenure of time frame. And some people never get lucky enough to find something that they're really good at. They never get a chance to find something that they've been able to find a degree of success at. So they've just been going through it, and some of them are still searching, right? So I will share that. I'll go back to all those kids that kind of, harassed you and badgered you a little bit jokingly, right, as a freshman. It was nice for Columbus City, the state of Ohio, to get a chance to enjoy in your gift, because that's a nice, remarkable run when somebody can jump on the scene as a 9th grader. Like you said, you don't even know what's going on. It's another track meet. 4 years later, you're breaking a state record that still stands to this day. Your team won again, back-to-back. State championships as a team, so y'all are doing the same thing all over again, 4x1s and 4x2s. And that day, Eastmoor's girls team broke 2 or 3 other records. Some of the others have been broken, like some of the relay records. But y'all were just breaking records that day. I mean, it was just kind of like a Eastmoor party. I don't know if y'all were y'all like sitting around.
It was a time to be alive. I say that.
Did y'all feel like it was a party that day?
It was. I mean, it was amazing. Yeah. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that had to be a fun day, because, like I said, when you go back and look at it, it was like this was a record and that was a record, and then on and on. Let's do this. Let's jump quickly. We only got a few minutes left. I told you it goes by fast, but I think people wanted to hear that piece. So let's jump real quickly. You leave Eastmoor, you go to Ohio State. How was that experience? Give us some things that shout out to you and that are memorable for you during your time at OSU.
It's definitely a transition from high school to college.
Certainly.
Because now you are around individuals who are doing the things that you've done or better. Right. And then not only that, as far as on a competitive level, you're against people from all around the world. Right. It's not just a state, right, or something like that. Okay. Our team was co-ed when I first went to Ohio State. It did end up, splitting. Okay. As the years went on, but I had two amazing coaches.
Okay.
One who's named, she's in the Hall of Fame,
Okay.
Karen Dennis.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And then, you have Russ Rogers.
Yeah.
He's a legend as well.
Yeah.
And then, Joel Brown, he was assistant, coach. He ran, professionally.
Yeah.
And still is coach over there at Ohio State to this day.
Okay.
So, everything was memorable to me over there. The coach, she was like a mother figure to me.
Okay.
Ohio State is a nurturing culture. Anybody who knows Ohio State, it's a world of its own. You're on campus, but you're in Columbus, but really Ohio State is like a whole nother city by itself. And I'm just a small girl, regular girl from, the hood per se. And, now I'm being exposed to taking flights and going to different states and chartered buses. And there's nowhere in the world that you can go where somebody's not yelling out OH. So, once you join the alum, you're locked in for life. So, I really couldn't ask for, honestly, a better school to have attended. Ohio State's like family. So, I'm grateful for that. But to know that also I was first in my family to go to college.
Yeah.
And then, for free.
Certainly.
Didn't have to worry about my parents who were already, of age. My dad was, he passed away when I was in high school.
Okay.
So, just doing that for my family.
Yeah.
And setting that tone.
Certainly.
Yeah, setting that tone because, I'm a kid, grew up in the system.
Right.
Out of an inner city school and inner city, not necessarily the projects, but,
I get it.
A very different area, like the Mount Vernon area.
Yeah.
So, this was unheard of.
You had to find your way.
This was unheard of.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that people, when they see me, they can see that.
Yeah.
That's something to see.
Our experiences, as you shared even about track, certainly don't define us, right? And so obviously everybody's path is their own. And you chose through your journey to make your path special. It is great that track and you and your world align, right? Mm-hmm. It was interesting that you brought up basketball and soccer because we even though we're running out of time, right? So they've given me the cue here that like I told you, it goes fast. You were on a girls basketball team that finishes runner-up in the state.
That's right.
So you had a lot of winning experiences. You're a life winner. You know what I mean? How you grew up is not relevant to us. Like I said, I don't know that. You jump on the scene, and I hear stuff all the time, meaning people say, man, you should check out this freshman or that freshman. And typically, most people can't live up to the hype that everybody else around them is trying to produce. I often share with people, just let the kid grow up. Let the kid enjoy it. You know what I mean? Right. You lived up to the hype, though. I mean, like you were one of the people I remember. I was, you got. And then I didn't see you as much as a freshman because I couldn't have fathomed in my mind that a freshman was going to go off and win state. To be very honest, not that there was any doubt, but it just didn't even. It wasn't like relevant as a thought, right? And I remember hearing it and said, I was like, she really, like, I can almost remember him saying to myself, like, she really won state, like, I'm almost in shock. And then obviously it kept on going. You spoke about your family, but I had someone share with me that they believed you were so important and an integral part of inspiring so many other young girls at Eastmoor Academy. Has anyone ever said that to you? Nobody
said it to me, but I've learned it just along the way, just from recent interviews that I've heard on this podcast.
Yeah.
And, even to this day, even doing a whole different profession, there are people who still have recognized me and bring it up. And so, like, it's really mind-blowing for me.
Certainly. I'll get us out of here on this. Do you follow the sport any? Do you watch it any?
Yes, I'm not as in depth with it, but for the majority of it, I mean, track is still my baby. So, I'm definitely in touch with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that is certainly good stuff. Like I said, I'm getting the cue here. We got to get on out of here. I'm happy to have you sit down with us. much respect to you
Thank
today
you so much
for joining us. Anything you want to share with any of the listeners out there that maybe I didn't talk about today? You can. I mean, we do shout outs. You can say whatever you want to say. The floor is yours.
I just really want to shout out Coach Robert Talley. That's who started me on my journey.
Okay.
Coach White, Coach Donald White, Coach Karen Dennis. This is college.
Okay.
Coach Richard Bowden.
Yeah. Certainly.
And Russ Rogers. And just everybody who I've inspired.
Yeah.
Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for, shouting me out. And,
Yes, indeed.
I just hope that I can continue to be that inspiration to any, not even just young woman, any
Right.
boy, any girl
out there, yeah.
Because if I can do it and I did it, anybody, I promise you, anybody can do it. So
Yes,
just keep pressing.
Well, folks, we had a fun one here today. A 4-time state track champion, which is very rare. What a beautiful show we had today. Everyone, we thank you for listening. I'm going to get us out of here. Much respect to you today. Be sure to catch our future episodes on FM WCBE 90.5. If you follow podcasts, catch us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you do your podcast. All of you social media folks out there, come on, give us some love. Follow us on Instagram at City League Sports 614. Till next time, I'm your host, Vince Clarno. This is City League Sports.